You know, we spend a ton of time thinking about how to protect our own data. But what about all the data we hold for other people? I mean, think about it. Every single contact in your phone, every email address you've saved, that's a piece of trust somebody gave you. So today, we're going to explore how to protect it.
Look, you lock your front door when you leave the house, right? It's just second nature. But what about the information you have about your friends? Their phone numbers, their private emails, maybe even personal stories they've shared. Are you leaving that digital door wide open? It's this question of digital trust that honestly, most of us just forget to even ask.
So when we talk about privacy, a lot of people think it just means, hiding stuff. But it's so much more fundamental than that. Privacy is really about control. It's the right to decide who gets your information and what they get to do with it. It's all about you being in the driver's seat in this super connected world we all live in.
Okay, so before we can even think about guarding anyone else's data, we have to secure our own. You gotta build your own digital fortress first. And this isn't just about protecting yourself. It's the absolute foundation for being a trustworthy person for everyone else. This fortress, it's basically built on 4 pillars. Having strong passwords, using two-factor authentication, not oversharing everything, and just keeping your devices secure. Now, all of these are super important, for sure, but let's zoom in on the 2 that give you the most bang for your buck, like immediately. Your passwords and 2FA.
So what actually makes a password strong? Well, it really boils down to a few things. Make it long, at least 12 characters. Mix it all up, uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbols. But here's the absolute biggest rule, the one you cannot break. Never reuse your passwords. I mean, think about it. That's like using the same exact key for your house, your car, and your office. If a thief gets that one key, you're toast. They have everything.
And this is the massive difference two-factor authentication, or 2FA, makes. Just look at the contrast. Without 2FA, if your password gets stolen, it's pretty much game over. They're in. But with 2FA, that same stolen password isn't enough. The bad guy is still stuck outside because they don't have that second piece, the code from your phone. It is, hands down, one of the single biggest security upgrades you can make.
All right, so your own fortress is locked down tight. Now comes the really critical part, the big shift in how we think about this. We need to move our focus from just protecting me to protecting we. This is where we go from personal security to a kind of collective responsibility. And this quote right here, it just nails it. Just as you value your own privacy, it's essential to respect and safeguard the privacy of your contacts. It's basically the digital golden rule, right? Treat other people's data the way you want your own data to be treated. Simple as that.
So what does this look like day to day? Well, it's about simple, conscious actions. Just ask before you give out someone's number. Keep sensitive details to yourself. Think for a second before you forward a private message someone sent you. It really all comes down to handling their information with the same care you'd hope for with your own.
So, what happens when that trust gets broken? The consequences of being careless aren't just some vague idea. The cost is real, and as you're about to see, it can be incredibly high.
When you look at the data from big breaches, the damage is just stark. Nearly half of the people affected end up with financial loss, and about a third have their reputation damaged. And you might think, oh, that's just for big companies. But the principle is exactly the same for individuals. A single careless share could cost a friend real money or seriously damage their reputation.
But honestly, the numbers don't even tell the whole story. The real damage, that's the personal fallout. You're not just leaking information, you're shattering trust, you're damaging relationships. And yeah, in some cases, you could even create legal problems. But the deepest cuts are almost always emotional. All the anxiety, stress, and fear that your friend now has to live with.
Okay, so how do we actually do this right? Well, the good news is you don't have to be some tech genius. Becoming a trustworthy digital citizen is really just about being mindful and picking up a few good habits. So let's build out our playbook for digital trust.
Your playbook really comes down to 5 key moves. 1. Get to know the privacy settings on your apps. 2. Just be mindful. Think before you post or share anything about other people. 3. Make it a habit to review your settings every now and then. 4. Look into tools that are built for privacy. And 5, and this one might be the most important, encourage others to do this stuff too. Because privacy, it's really a team sport.
You know, at the end of the day, this isn't about being paranoid or living in fear. It's about building something positive. Every time you consciously choose to protect someone's privacy, you're laying another brick in the foundation of a stronger, more respectful relationship. You're building trust.
We're all so connected now, our privacy is all tangled up together, which leads to a pretty powerful final thought. Is the ultimate way to protect yourself actually to start by fiercely protecting everyone else? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.